We are right now broken down by the side of the road somewhere in the middle of Georgia. Hey everybody, this is Bill with Live Simple, Live Free, and we were on our way to Florida, going back down for the winter, and we're somewhere in central Georgia, and I've been hearing this noise for a while in the back of the truck, and all of a sudden, bam, it sounded horrible. I think it's the U-joint, the universal joint. We'll just have to see, I don't know. So there are actually many benefits to having a shorter truck like this. The main reason I wanted one no longer than this is so that it could fit into a standard parking lot. But here's another advantage. So I called, I was able to find somebody to tow me and a shop that's going to look at it. But towing anything longer than this is a real problem. Fortunately, this is just short enough that they're going to be able to put it on a standard rollback type truck that they would carry a car on. If it was 2 or 3 feet longer, they wouldn't be able to do that. I'd have to get some kind of a big wrecker to tow me. So I didn't realize that when I bought this, but yeah, it's good to have one this short. So I'm hoping it's a U-joint. We'll find out after we get to the shop. I mean, a U-joint rather than like a differential or something like that. That would be more complicated. So the wrecker has arrived. But we've got another problem because that is 4 feet tall and my truck is 10 feet 10, which means when it's up there, it'll be 14.10 and the height limit is 13.6. And yeah, we have to go through several towns. There's a good chance he would be pulled over for overheight. So we're trying to figure out something else. Well, so that first company was not able to tow me because I'm too tall if I put it up on top, and they don't have, in order to tow behind, there's a hydraulic thing that comes out of the back of the truck and lifts your wheels, so they don't have that attachment, so they can't tow me behind. So they are trying to find some other company that can actually come out here and tow me. Trouble is, because I think it's the U-joint that's going bad, if it gets towed with the rear wheels on the ground, the U-joint will still be turning. So the first thing is hopefully we can find some company that can actually come out here and tow us. And then the second thing is they're going to have to take the drive shaft out before they can tow it, so that that bad U-joint won't be turning. And then I just thought of this: if they're towing this truck behind their truck, I still have my trailer that they have to tow.
Could they put the trailer up on their bed and then tow us behind?
Possibly, if they have that type of truck.
Well, I mean, hopefully these guys are going to keep that in mind. They know we have the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we sit. We're just waiting for a call back from that first company. Hopefully she'll be able to find somebody else that can help. Okay, so they were not able to find anyone in the area that can tow me. So they sent out a mechanic, and he thought that maybe he could look at it on site and replace the U-joint on site. So he came out, looked at it. Turns out it was not a U-joint. He checked the bearings in the rear wheels. It was not that. He had me drive it back and forth, and he listened to it, and he said, "Oh, that's the brakes." I said, "No, that's not the brakes." He said, "That's the brakes." So he said, if I do it carefully, I can drive back into town. Makes an awful noise, but he said I could do it. 8 miles back into town. So I started, and I was doing about 3 miles an hour, blocking traffic. It was a mess. It wasn't the brakes. It sounded like the entire rear end was gonna explode. I'm pretty sure that it's actually the differential, the main rear end that's gone. I cannot believe that we got all the way into town 8 miles with it like it is. Every single revolution of the wheel sounded like the whole differential was just gonna explode on me. But we did find a shop here in town that said that they could do it right there. When I pulled in, he said, "Oh, you got a bad bearing on the wheel." I thought, what? No, I'm talking about the rear end. The front wheel also, this just happened, unrelated. It wasn't like this when I first started my trip. Something in the bearings in the front wheel, I don't know. But the front wheel, instead of like this, is leaning in like that. When I saw it, I turned around and looked at it. When he pointed to it, it scared me to death. I don't know how we got here with that rear end about to explode and that tire about to fall off. Two different unrelated things at the same time. I just praise Jesus for his protection. So we came in here, and this is now Friday, the January 3rd. We started first thing in the morning, but it's now late afternoon, and of course they're not going to be able to do anything until Monday. So we're getting a hotel right across the way. We could stay in the camper, but the camper's going to be in and out of the shop and all that, so we're just going to get in the hotel. But he's going to give me a call back. We just called the hotel and they have rooms, so we're going to go get rooms. He's going to call me once he looks at everything and tries to order parts, and we'll go from there.
Wow, what a weekend this has been.
Yeah, no kidding.
We are home now. We're in Florida, but let us tell you what happened.
It was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. So we got the hotel, and it was right across the street. Just, we could
Kind of kitty corner.
walk across.
Yeah.
And the guy said the mechanic said that he has had problems before getting the parts for the front end where the wheel was like this. It was, when you look at it, it should be like this, but the driver's wheel was leaning like that. It was unbelievable.
Whoa.
And I still have a heart attack just thinking about it. Anyway, he said that he has had trouble in the past getting the parts, and he said one time it took him up to 3 weeks to get the parts to fix that. And I just, oh great, so now I'm not a mechanic. I'm a carpenter, not a mechanic. So I don't know what bushings and bearings and all that he needed to get. But so we got the hotel and we got it through Tuesday. We figured, Monday, because this was late Friday. He couldn't do anything till Monday.
So we had the hotel for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night.
And into Tuesday.
Yeah, into Tuesday.
We figured out Monday he'd find out what he could find out about parts, and then we could go from there. So we went to the hotel. Now, right across the street and just a little ways up was a Chinese restaurant, and a couple blocks down, we discovered later, was a Dollar General.
Yeah, it was about as far the other side of the shop where we had the truck.
But
yeah,
at any rate, but of course now we didn't have a vehicle, and I couldn't see eating a Chinese restaurant 3 meals a day.
Well, no,
So-
no.
But the lady, her name was Rhonda, from R&D Towing. She was the original towing company that I had called, and she's the one that called all around trying to find another tow company.
She was so helpful.
Yeah, Central Georgia is small towns, and there are towing companies there, but they don't have any big trucks, and nobody had one that could come and get me unless they came, 100 miles, and it cost me $400 just to get them there to tow me in the beginning.
Oh, it would be minimum of 500.
Yeah, well, that was just, anyway.
Yeah.
So after she found out, what we were doing, and we were able to drive it back to the shop, and we got into the hotel. She kept checking up on us. How you doing?
Yeah. And this is R&D Towing?
R&D Towing.
And what's the name of the town again?
Yeah, Hazelhurst.
Hazelhurst, right.
Now there's another thing. Do you remember a couple of years ago, 2 years ago maybe, we were coming back from Florida to Virginia, and we had a problem with our car. There was a gas leak in the gas tank, and it was dripping onto the muffler. I don't know if you remember that, but that was in Hazelhurst.
Hazelhurst, right.
We spent 2 nights in Hazelhurst. And
Getting that fixed.
And now here we are again in Hazelhurst. I don't know what it is about Hazelhurst, but I tell you what, it's a good place to break down.
I was just going to say, I don't look at it like, oh my goodness, now it's Hazelhurst again. Yeah. I look at it like, what a great place with great people. People were terrific. I really got to give them a heads up and give her a shout out.
So I happened to mention to Rhonda in a text that we were all settled in the hotel and no problems there. But I said the challenge is going to be getting food because we don't have a car now. So what did she do?
She said, listen, I'm right in town, honey. She's beautiful, Southern Georgia, nice lady. And so she came and got us and took us to Walmart because we had a little microwave and a little refrigerator in the room there. And so if we could just get basic food, we could manage to take care of ourselves okay. And so, yep, sure enough, she drove us to Walmart. She was so nice.
So that first night we went over to the Chinese place and ate Chinese, and then the rest of Saturday and Sunday we ate, the Walmart food in the microwave.
All the rest of like Friday, No, Saturday and Sunday, and then like Monday morning. Yeah.
And all of this time, you know, it was good to be in the hotel. It was like a haven. It was peaceful. We were good there. But all of this time, I just had this stress of how long are we going to be here? How long is it? How, you know?
What are we gonna do?
Are we going to end up staying in a hotel for 2 weeks? I mean, you know, we don't have that kind of money, and you know.
No.
So we called a friend.
And is the truck really going to be okay?
Yeah. How long is it going to take? 3 weeks to get the truck fixed? So we called a friend here in Florida.
In Florida, and we thank you, dear friends. It was like as soon as I had texted them because they were expecting us to be coming, and I texted and said we're kind of delayed. Let them know what was going on, and they were out of town. She said that they would have immediately volunteered to come get us, but they were out of town. And so when I talked to her a little bit later, and called her and talked to her, she's like, "Oh, I'll come get you in a heartbeat, no problem."
It was like 2.5 hours for her to come get us.
Yeah.
And she just, without even hesitating, I'll be there. Just let me know what you need. So
very nice, just in case we needed it.
It was a great relief for me just to know that we had a ride arranged so that we wouldn't have to spend $1,000 in a hotel for a couple of weeks.
Barry, our sweetheart of a son, was talking to his dad and said, "Hey, I'll just come get you guys," and that would have been like a.
Yeah, it would have been about 8 hours each way for him.
Yeah, but thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was our weekend just in the hotel, and sometimes you just need to take a break.
Yeah, that was a forced break
from life.
Yeah,
but that was more than I was looking for.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was laughing when I first woke up this morning. Just barely woke up, and I thought, "Well, Lord, we have 2 little houses, and we have an RV, and right now I feel homeless."
Yeah.
But in a safe place. It was warm because it was cold outside. It was warm, and we had food, and we were fine.
So spending all that time in that hotel, who knows how long? Another possible concern was the food that we had along with us in the truck.
When we're going back and forth, we don't want to just throw away everything that was in the fridge, and we want to leave the fridges turned off and propped open. So we're usually transporting food back and forth.
Right. So fortunately, if you remember last summer, we got this 12-volt refrigerator freezer for the truck, and it's made by Set Power, and that thing has been a godsend.
Yes.
We used it all the way through our trip last summer and back, and it worked perfectly. And so all we did was just took the food that we had and we brought it to Florida with us. And it has 2 compartments that are you can control them individually. So I had usually the larger one is the fridge and the smaller one is the freezer. But we didn't have much fridge stuff, and we had a lot of freezer stuff. So I just switched them. I just controlled them. I made the large one the freezer and the small one the refrigerator. We had all kinds of meat and stuff in the freezer, and so it was all in the truck, safely in the freezer. And
before we got this, we used to have to try to see, can we use everything up in time, and what can we give away?
Either that, or can we get some kind of a styrofoam cooler and put ice in it and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but the truck was parked actually at the shop underneath of an awning, and the sun was not getting on the solar panels.
Yeah.
So I was kind of concerned about that, and when I checked on it on Monday, it was still at 55%. So the refrigerator had been running for 4 days.
The batteries level.
Yeah.
Okay.
The refrigerator had been running for 4 days, and the batteries were still at 55%.
Wow.
So that was cool. So
everything's fine.
It's an excellent refrigerator. If you want to check it out, in the description below this video, I have a link to the review video where we reviewed the Set Power refrigerator, and also there's a discount code.
Yeah.
So now we have security cameras here in this house in Florida, so we can see it when we're in Virginia. And a package showed up that we could see on our cameras out on the front porch.
Yeah,
it's like
safely under the
What is that? And it showed up about a few days before Christmas, and what is that? We didn't order anything.
We weren't expecting any deliveries.
So we got here, and I thought, what in the world is this thing? And I opened it up. I am amazed by this. We got that Set Power refrigerator last spring sometime. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, and in time to get it all ready to take on the trip.
So here is what we got. See that? This is a Christmas gift from Set Power because we bought this refrigerator from them. Actually, no, we didn't buy it from them. They sent it to us as a review, as a collaboration.
Yeah.
But still, this blows my mind. Look at what's in here. First of all, this opens up into a shelter. It's a tarpaulin that's big enough to sleep under. It's just a flat thing, but it's,
And it folds up really nice and neat.
and then a very large stainless steel mug
With a carrier.
with a insulated carrier there.
Yeah, it's got a strap and everything.
And a strap for that. Set power. Isn't that amazing? And then this blows me away. This is a survival tool. It's all metal. It's high quality. It's a compass and a bunch of different things in there. And I mean, I have never seen a company do anything like this.
Yeah, we were pretty amazed by that.
I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. So anyway, if you're interested in Set Power, check it out down below, and you can see the review of this excellent refrigerator.
It's not a directly sponsored video today at all.
No.
But we did want to mention Set Power again, especially because they sent us the gift.
Right.
And we do have a link below and can get you a discount. So we have been very, very impressed with it.
Right.
Okay. Our food got here nice and cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Monday morning, which when you see this video, that would be yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
Monday morning, about 10 o'clock or so, I went over to the shop just figuring, maybe he's had a chance to call around a little bit and maybe I could figure out how long we're going to have to be there, or if he could get an estimate of how long it's going to take.
Just get an idea of what we were going to be looking at.
And I walked in, he looked up and he saw me and he said, "I got your truck fixed." You what? What do you mean you got my truck fixed? I thought it was a joke. He said, "Yeah, I got your truck fixed. I got the front end, I got the parts that I needed, and I fixed it." And I said, "Well, what about the rear end?" He said, There's no problem with the rear end." I said, "What do you mean there's no problem with the rear end?" All of the noise that I was hearing that was unbelievably scary, loud, grinding,
screechy, yeah,
was right at my foot because it was the front driver's side wheel. But it all sounded, for some reason, like it was coming from the rear end.
it's like it was echoing off the metal under a truck or something.
And I don't know. I still don't understand it. But I could have sworn it came from the rear end, and it was all that front thing. So there's nothing wrong with the rear end at all. It was only the front
It's
wheels.
been thoroughly checked.
Yeah. So, he fixed the front end, then took it out for a test drive to find out what's wrong with the rear end. He said, "There's nothing wrong with the rear end." So,
Well, and it's basic stuff that happens in vehicles.
Yeah.
This has been such a good truck. It was bearings and bushings or
yeah. So I paid for it. It was $630. It could have been. I mean, if it was the rear end, it could have been several thousand. So I'm just very.
And we've
Grateful
talked
of
before. We always have money set aside. I set aside money every month, just in case.
So I had unhooked my trailer and it was sitting there, and so I said, "Okay, I'm going to take this over to our hotel and load all our stuff in, and then come back and get the trailer." He said, "That's fine." So I drove it around a little bit, and sure enough, rear end was nice and smooth and quiet. So I went over.
Everything works great.
We loaded up, and this was on Monday, and we had paid for Monday night through Tuesday, and the motel refunded us that extra night.
They were so. That's another thing. They were so nice there.
Yeah.
What was that? What was the name of the garage and the name of the
The garage was Waters Service Center, and the hotel was
America's Best?
America's Best Inn or something like that. It was a private. It wasn't a big chain thing.
It's just a kitty corner across the street
Yeah.
from there. We just want to let Hazelhurst know that thank you for being so kind.
Yeah.
Everybody that we dealt with.
So I went over, we loaded up, I went back and picked up the trailer, and then we headed home, and we're home 2 hours later, and everything's perfect. So here we are on Monday evening. We just came home, today. It feels so good to be home.
Well, it feels so good to be here. Oh my goodness.
And we just praise Jesus that he protected us from that wheel. Didn't actually come off, and it could have.
Oh, yike.
But another thing is that driving 8 miles with the wheel leaning like this, I completely destroyed the tire. I'm going to have to get a new tire. But I mean, it wasn't flat. It was still, but it's all completely worn on the inside. So I'll have to get a new tire. But
It made it home okay.
yeah, we
but,
drove home with it like it is. It's fine.
we put quite a few miles on it. It doesn't hurt to get a new tire. So, yeah. So we'll easily plan on doing that.
So, what did you do this weekend?
We came home the long way. Oh, goodness. It's so funny. When we come here, it feels like home. We go to Virginia, it feels like home.
Yeah.
That's really something.
So anyway, yeah, that was our weekend. Thank you, Jesus, for getting us home safe. Thank you for the convenience of having it done on a weekend instead of waiting there for weeks at a time.
Well, and when the wind blew, it was cold. and I'm still not doing real good in cold. And so I'm just grateful that, for one thing, or two things. One is that we had a hotel that we could get to that was just not that far of a walk. And I discovered that when the wind isn't blowing in your face, it's not as cold. That's good. But anyway, we were able to get across that little Chinese restaurant, and we could do what we needed to do, but we certainly couldn't have gotten to Walmart. That was quite a ways. And the other thing is that it's now gotten really cold in Virginia. And apparently ice conditions, electricity keeps going off. I'm praying that, our family and everybody is safe and okay. And but I'll tell you what, I gotta honestly admit, after dealing with the cold up there and realizing it still makes it harder for me to breathe.
Over Christmas. And
I loved being there. I loved going to Connecticut, getting the piano. I loved being with the family for Christmas, doing that New Year's Eve worship time. Wonderful. Carly's Christmas concert, all of it, seeing everybody. I still had trouble with the cold. And so it's kind of nasty that we're south now of that major storm going through. And I got to admit, when I got out of the truck today and the air was just nicely warm and the sun was shining.
Yeah, when we got here to Florida at about 2 o'clock, it was about 60 degrees.
Yeah.
And the sun was shining. It was beautiful. I was out in my T-shirt.
I'm truly grateful for this place.
Yep.
I'm just glad to be here when it can be so cold otherwise.
Now it's going down to about 29 tonight, I think.
Yeah.
But days are upper 50s to 60 right now.
Oh yeah, and we can stay plenty warm. That's no problem. But yeah, I'm just appreciative of it. Well, guys, we are here safely in Florida, and glad to be here. It was a bit of an adventure.
Yeah.
The truck's running beautifully. I'm so grateful,
Yeah.
and didn't cost us $75,000.
No.
So, alrighty. I just wanted to share with you.
So thanks for watching.
Yes, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
Love you guys, and we will of course be seeing you very soon. Bye bye.